Jason, welcome. William Inglis Hotel here at Warwick Farm. Leadership think tank. In fact, last time we were engaged in an interview like this, it was you interviewing me about a decade or more ago. It's nice to turn the tables. I think probably where we should start is if you could tell our members and our prospective members a little bit about your background and a little bit about LTT.
Sure, and you've got a good memory because it was back in 2013 when I interviewed a young lawyer like yourself who gave a great representation of themselves. Great to be here. So a little bit about my background. I've got a diverse and probably eclectic background in business. Started in the film industry, working for Kerry Packer on a number of productions, and started a number of businesses during my 20s and 30s, which I bought and sold, and moved into leadership and leadership development probably in my mid-30s. I've been working in that space for well over 20 years now. Leadership think tank I kicked off with my business partner back in 2013. We're a member organisation for CEOs, managing directors, business owners, senior executives, those who really want to grow their business and scale their business. And since then, we've probably got 120 CEOs as members here in Sydney, and have kicked off our group down in Melbourne. So a bit of expansion on the way, but it's been a great journey so far.
Fabulous. Leadership think tank is a unique kind of organisation. We know that there are similar organisations that are out there. But one of the things that strikes me about LTT is the willingness to get involved in WSBC and to expand, if you like, the LTT business and the LTT concept to Western Sydney. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think there's been a real natural alignment between what we do at LTT and WSBC's reason for being. So we're all about building relationships. So we're not about networking, but we are about strengthening your network. So it's not that kind of shallow transactional introduction with a hope that there may be some business generated down the track. Obviously, we build on introductions, but we go deeper than that. And that's why I saw what's being built with WSBC aligned really naturally to what we do, because while WSBC is all about connecting business people, it doesn't stop there. And there's a deeper connection that is fostered within the membership, and that's something that when I, through your advocacy, got involved with WSBC, and I think it's just been a really natural fit for what we do and for what we want to do and grow into the Western Sydney area to support the business leaders out in the West.
And LTT is one of our newest platinum partners, and we're very delighted to have LTT on board as a platinum partner. Maybe tell us a little bit about your decision-making process around why you opted for platinum partnership.
Good question. I think if I reflect back just on what I said earlier about how we are aligned with what you do, when we decided to get involved, we decided we'd get in fully. So I didn't want to just skirt around the edges of being involved. We wanted to make an impact, and we wanted to bring kind of the leadership development of what we do and put that into the Western Sydney business environment, because I think it's the next wave of Australian enterprise out in Western Sydney. And we thought if we were going to get involved, then we'll get involved. And that's why Platinum Partnership appealed to us. And we look forward to a long and mutually prosperous relationship.
Well, it certainly is the place to be at the moment with all the economic and other activity going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of LTT and where LTT presently is at, and maybe more broadly across industry and Western Sydney, what challenges do you think or contemplate for LTT in the mid to near future?
We are not really different to most other businesses in the way that things like talent attraction and retention is critical to us. how we deal with the continual changes that are developing, not just with technology, but obviously with AI and its rollout into the business community and people's personal lives. So we are very similar in what we do, and in many ways we reflect our members' diversity. So we have members, as you would know, from across every single industry that you could possibly think of, and we get members from all parts of the Sydney region. One of the reasons we wanted to move into and get involved with WSBC is to establish a geographical group in Parramatta, which we're doing, and also a geographical group in Penrith. So we want to embrace what we do and bring that to WSBC, because we know that businesses get better when they surround themselves with clever, like-minded businesses with a desire to help each other get better at what they do.
In terms of connecting with other members of the WSBC community, how do you see that in terms of mutual benefit for LTT and the members?
I think that there's a great desire for people to get better at what they do, and sometimes that's not spoken out loud. And people might have a sense that they'll get involved in a membership organisation like WSBC, and they don't really know what happens then. Like, it's like joining the gym, but you never go.
Yep.
And you're hoping to see results. So for what we do, and in many ways what WSBC does, it's all about getting involvement within the community that you've joined. And for our members and our groups, that is all about turning up and being involved and being present. The thing I love about WSBC is that you do have a great group of members who actually physically turn up and build those relationships. It's not something that's simply done online, and that reflects into what we do as well, because we are all about the people business, and people is a holistic sense, not just in their professional worlds, but also in their personal world. So yeah, it's always been a good alignment.
And today, at this event alone, we have about 250 people coming along.
And you know them all by name, don't you, Brendan?
And I do my best to know them all by name.
Excellent.
That's for sure. So mid-term to long-term goals for LTT. Tell us a little bit about where LTT is going.
So we started the business in 2013 with the desire to not be the biggest in the country. We have no desire to be the biggest, but we do have a desire to be the best. We have a goal at the moment to attain somewhere around 20 to 25 groups. And I think that's our sweet spot. At that point, we will probably have somewhere around 350, 400 members. And it's still capable for us to know all of our members. And it's important for us to treat our membership like a community, because that's exactly what it is. We don't believe we're a transactional organisation. We have deep relationships, and we foster deep relationships with our members, both with us as owners, but also the members of the group. You know, if I reflect back on your early days with LTT, being at our very first group meeting back in October 2013, and I look at the relationships that you've built and met through that period of time, you're a great example of a member who's committed, who turns up, who gets involved, who is always giving forward, with no desire to see anything that comes back to you. But of course, logically, when you do invest in your own commitment and relationships with other business people, logic dictates that it always comes back to you, which is what we see.
Exactly right, and I can wholly endorse that philosophy around what LTT is about. Final question, what advice might you give to other business owners who might be contemplating joining WSBC as a member?
Oh, I would say if you're serious about growth, then join. And don't just join, get involved. Don't think that just simply by joining and working around the fringes will give you the results that you're looking for. If you're serious about growing your business, surround yourself with clever people, surround yourself with ambitious people, innovative people, and WSBC is building a community just like that in Western Sydney, designed for Western Sydney business leaders. So yeah, I'd be saying if you want to get involved, do it today.
Fabulous. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the event today.
Thank you.
And all the best for LTT. And we're delighted to have you guys on board as a platinum partner.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brendan.
Cheers.
Very good.